production of the exact kind of killer T cells that protect the Nairobi prostitutes.
A volunteer receives an injection.
My reason for taking part was to try and help. It's one small thing that I can do. I can't go out there and help people in any other way. But by having a few injections and having a few blood tests, then hopefully I can help to have an impact.
At present, they're getting a positive response in 75% of the volunteers, an excellent test result. But no one knows if these vaccine-produced killer T cells will be able to stop a real HIV attack.
On a dark city sidewalk, a woman stands alone under a street lamp as a group of men walk past.
Hi.
If the initial trials continue to go well, the next stop will be the streets of Nairobi. 2,000 HIV-negative sex workers and their clients will take the vaccine for 2 years to see if they can remain AIDS-free. But it will take several more years to complete all the trials, and this vaccine, like others being tested, may ultimately end in failure. It's ironic that Nairobi sex workers like Jennifer, who usually spread HIV, may someday prove instrumental in stopping it.
A prostitute talks to a man in a car.
Hi.
But even if the vaccine is successful, it will come too late to save Ada Kadiga. She's now in a hospital, but without drugs and money, her hope has run out.
Charles Wachihi.
In terms of the infection rates, the mortality rates, the cost of drugs, that means if we don't have a vaccine, we need actually this vaccine yesterday. We needed it yesterday.
The great power of any vaccine is that it keeps people from getting sick in the first place. No hospitals, no expensive medicines, no fear that a horrible disease can strike at any moment. But for now, when it comes to AIDS, freedom from fear is only a dream.
Now a man with thin, twisted legs kneels on a prayer rug.
For another global scourge, polio, the battle is almost over. An effective vaccine has existed for decades, and the number of cases worldwide has fallen dramatically. But in Nigeria, the same religious resistance that has thwarted vaccinators in India has caused the vaccine to be banned here. In a country that once had only a few cases left, by 2004, there were more than 600, making Nigeria the largest reservoir of the disease in the world.
A man with withered legs walks on his hands and one foot.
During the ban, many children have come down with the disease, including 20-month-old Akasim Kasim.
At first, he couldn't even move his head. His hands were not moving like now.
Mohammed Kasim.
And he couldn't move any part of his body.
Akasim is crippled now for life, and his father is devastated. David Heyman, one of the original smallpox warriors, heads the polio eradication program at the World Health Organization in Geneva. With the virus now spreading from Nigeria to countries that had previously been polio-free, Heyman and his team know the whole eradication program is in danger.
David Heyman.
What happened when Nigeria stopped immunizing is that one virus made its way to Chad, causing children to be paralyzed in Chad. Then from Chad, the virus went to Central African Republic in the south, the one in yellow. The virus from Chad also went to Sudan, and it caused an outbreak of polio in Sudan, which is still going on.
657 cases so far in Nigeria.
Frederick Kayet.
If you compare with other countries, basically 80% of the cases in the world are occurring in Nigeria.
To break the logjam in Nigeria, Heyman sought help from Islamic leaders who recommended sending the vaccine to a Muslim-run laboratory in Indonesia for analysis.
David Heyman.
We worked behind the scenes helping the country determine what steps they needed to take to prove that the vaccine was safe.
When Indonesia reported the vaccine contained no harmful agents, Nigerian clerics opened the door for vaccinators from Rotary International and UNICEF, who immediately rushed serum to polio-affected areas. A child paralyzed because of the ban is paraded before Nigerian village elders as a warning for all to take polio drops. If they can control polio here, the vaccinators would stand a good chance of stopping the spread to other nations.
Men applaud as a worker squeezes drops of vaccine into a boy's mouth. Now a boat sails past forested islands.
Resistance to vaccines is not confined to poor countries or to religious objectors. This is Vashon Island off the west coast of America. In this exclusive island community, 4 miles from Seattle, some people claim equally good reasons for rejecting vaccines.
Resident Lisa Elliott.
I believe that my children's natural immunity to disease is going to protect them much better than the vaccine. I am concerned about burdening their young bodies with too many challenges, immune system challenges at once.
In truth, there is always a slight chance that any vaccine can produce an unwanted side effect. One of the original smallpox warriors, Bill Fagey, also lives on Vashon Island, but disagrees with the resistors.
I believe what's happened now is that parents do not know what those diseases are like. And so they've lost the fear of the disease, and it's harder for them to get the feeling that they're contributing to something when they can't see that disease anymore.
Parents in this community are part of a growing trend to keep children unvaccinated out of fears, many unfounded, that vaccines may harm them.
You know, there's mercury in vaccinations, and that might have thrown off her immune system.
The side effects are not worth that for my children at this time.
There seems to be some side effects with whooping cough that weren't satisfied in my research.
Who lives ultimately with the repercussions of the decision? This would be the parents.
If this attitude from affluent Vashon Island had surfaced decades earlier, polio would never have been eradicated from the U.S. And this is precisely the problem that vaccinators now face in India as they struggle to defeat this crippling disease forever.
We don't want the vaccines at all. You're giving us all these medicines that make the children weak.
Are you God? Answer me. We only trust God. Allah keeps my child safe. Who are you to keep him safe?
Back in India, polio vaccinators are still trying to win over the religious resistors.
A UNICEF worker offers a pamphlet.
We can't read. What difference does it make?
Why should a child suffer for someone else's mistakes?
It's the will of Allah.
But Allah has given us brains.
What? It's up to Allah to decide.
A worker shows him colorful drawings of children.
You're showing me a cartoon?
Please trust me and look. Just because of one small mistake, that child walks like this.
It shows a boy with a withered leg.
Trying to explain to the father that this is an important thing inherently.
Nesan Saba.
And I think we may have cracked it.
The persuasive powers of the vaccinators have finally won the day. 2 precious drops of vaccine are given orally, and an indelible mark put on the small finger acts as a record. One more child will never get polio.
A worker colors the tip of a boy's pinky.
Months of door-to-door persuasion has seemingly brought resistance in northern India to an end.
The worker makes a chalk mark on a door. Now a group of smiling kids wear yellow visors.
Vaccinators are now ready for October 10th, 2004, when the full campaign to vaccinate India's under 5s will begin. And they will have to reach all the children, because with polio, you can never be sure who carries the disease and who doesn't.
Smallpox eradication was easy compared to polio eradication. All people who were infected with the smallpox virus actually showed signs and symptoms. They had terrible blisters on their face.
But polio remains hidden in the population, so 2 million vaccinators will have to find and vaccinate every child under 5 in just 1 or 2 days.
Make sure everything's going back. Keep back.
In Aligarh, Nesan Saba and Dr. Sudip Singh are ready.
Nesan Saba.
Well, this is it. This is the big day, the culmination of weeks of concerted effort at all levels.
Morning sun shines on a temple's white domes. A family bathes in a river.
With its overcrowding and pockets of resistance, Aligarh will be one of the most difficult assignments in India. And with thousands of children to reach, Nason knows the vaccinators have to get to their post quickly.
Nason Saba organizes workers.
They've got their vaccine, they need to move out. It's past 8 o'clock and the officials start